it's safe to say that there's a lot of bad video games. Since its explosion in popularity between the 70s and 80s and all the way up to present day, there was plenty of time to show off the lack of programming skills or morale put into various projects. Some of these titles simply faded into forgotten infamy, while others were so negatively impactful that it had a hand in crashing the industry as a whole. And it should be noted that many of these titles were less than favorable due to its rushed production of meeting a certain deadline. Games like Sonic Boom, Fallout 76, and of course, E.T. When there's ever a mention of a video game with a negative label from the audience, it usually has something to do with its lackluster story, abysmal controls, and a combination of various technical and artistic squanders. When you take a look at these titles, it really makes you wonder what was going through their minds when making them. However, for today's case, we actually have a pretty solid answer. Now, while there were thousands of people who were thrilled about what the early days of gaming had to offer, others were not as pleased. In 1995, a very upset Yoshihisa Kurosawa was dead set on making the worst video game you could possibly imagine. You see, old Yoshi here was rather displeased with Nintendo's unique characters and settings, not to mention the strict production and release rules towards indie games given by Nintendo and Sega. So, in order to revolt, he grabbed a buddy with experience in programming, busted this puppy out on floppies, sold about 30, and then threw the remaining hundreds away. Little did we know how sought after these would be in the upcoming decades. The game, as well as its developer, was released under various pseudonyms, as the method of using backup devices to produce the games were illegal in Japan at the time. This dude had to go into hiding just to release this damn thing, and it definitely didn't get much better from the guy when people found him. He was absolutely hammered with questions about the game long after he had even forgotten about it. So what exactly makes this game so infamous? Why didn't people buy it? And how far do you exactly have to go in order to produce the literal worst video game ever made? Well, for the longest time, none of us even knew. Most of the copies that were sold probably didn't last very long as well. As far as I can tell, there's only one record online of anybody actually owning an original copy. Most of us have only played a port of the game on the PC. However, yeah, that's right. I am holding an actual physical copy of Hong Kong 97. These babies were reproduced by Retro Gaming Life on Etsy. Thank God we actually have a chance to play this in its intended style. Well, let's hop to it. It just loops, and loops, and loops, and loops. This is ridiculous. For those who don't know, the name of this brain hemorrhage is I Love Beijing Tiananmen, a Chinese children's song used to celebrate Mao Zedong. The creator of the game used this sarcastically given the game's anti-communist subject matter. We will sell your original NES games. A third of the gross profit will be yours. I went through the trouble of coding this piece of shit and they're only giving me 33% of the profit? Happysoft really ain't living up to its name. I need you all to understand, I am producing the game here. You are sucking my dick. We welcome games of any kind, so please send us your floppy. This dude is trying to act so empathetic to us fellow loser devs that he's trying to capitalize on the fact that I suck at what I do. We will contact you after careful considerations. Oh yeah, okay, thank God there's a limit. But, you know, communism doesn't count. 3F-324. I have no idea what that has to do with Hong Kong. However, it can get you from Moscow to Yerevan. My, would you take a look at that? The year 1997 has arrived. A herd of fucking ugly reds are rushing from the mainland. This game came out in the mid-90s. Swearing was not a staple of games at the time. Sure, you had small moments like from Qbert with the random speech bubbles, but it was only around this time that they began using more adult language in these interactive experiences. The N64 era is when things got really experimental, from softer cases like the Donkey Kong rap to more extreme cases such as Conker's Bad Fur Day.
I'm going to throw my shit at you.
Wow. I really need that game. Crime rate skyrocketed. Hong Kong is ruined. Therefore, the Hong Kong government called Bruce Lee's relative Chin. I can't complain. He's trying to make the worst video game ever. He's doing a pretty damn good job. And now we have Jackie Chan from Wheels on Meals, as well as... Yeah, okay, I ain't touching that while operating a crane. Wipe out 1.2 billion of the red communists. With my fists? I mean, I'm not saying no, but set a timer. We're gonna be here a while. However, in mainland China, there was a secret project in progress. A project to transform the deceased Deng Xiaoping into the ultimate weapon. First of all, that's a real dude. Well, kinda, it's just a half-ass parody of a Chinese leader who was put into power after Mao bit the dust. So where do I start? How about with what the fuck? This game looks like a beginner project you'd make in Scratch. Anyone else remember Scratch? It was fun. But for real, this looks unbelievable. You have no health bar, only one life. If that's gone, you're done. And there's stuff flying all over the place. It's like Galaga got butt fucked by Silver Surfer. And what exactly is Chinny Boy down here using? Rocks? Well, God knows he has plenty. They are in China. Also, the "Chin is dead" text is so awkward. I mean, just look at it. It looks like a Japanese dude tried to spell in English for the first time using Microsoft Paint. You see that? And I'm white. And, yikes. This is one of those instances where you just sit back, put everything down, and think. In today's media, a real dead body on screen is a pretty big shock. This was the mid-90s. Things were actually easier back then. You had movies like Faces of Death which showcased actual real-life violence and corpses. On a similar note, big thanks to this video by Gooseboos. The game Overscreen is an actual dead body taken from the shockumentary known as Death File Yellow, showing a Muslim man who was killed during war. This dude died tragically in civilian crossfire, and this is what he's known for. Wait. Are these guys exploding? These dudes are blowing up upon contact, and there's a lazily pasted picture of the game over screen every time. This game is actually really hard to play. It took me multiple tries to last more than 30 seconds. There's just so much going on, and you're constantly on the lookout for communists and businessmen? Also, the touch of anything can kill you, so all that combined builds for a really tough and unpredictable 2D shooter. I will say though, the controls are actually really solid. For a game developed in such a short time, I'm surprised they actually made Chin feel like a controlled character. There's actually real weight to his actions, and it isn't as light as something like Bubsy. Just saying, it feels really nice to play. What the fuck is that? Every time, doesn't even matter if I beat him. It feels like once I overcome that obstacle, they just keep coming and coming forever. It's just, I know it's stupid. I can't explain it any better than that. This is the final boss. This is the best that China has to offer. Well, there's not much to talk about here because it's super easy. Wait for him to try and hit you, dodge, shoot, repeat, victory. After that, the game continues indefinitely. That's it. Get through the startup screens, defeat the ugly reds, blow up the ultimate weapon, rinse and repeat forever. Yeah, I think we're done here. Well, that was Hong Kong 97. Is it the worst game ever made? Well, here's the thing. It was marketed and created as such, so they succeeded in what they sought to create. However, it doesn't change the fact of what it actually is. It's just bad. I can't say there's another game that's quite like it. However, I will say it is not the worst video game I've ever played. And well, we'll get to that eventually.